Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, he must have perhaps perceived her as susceptible, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of the tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Now, death is quite a strong punishment. We'd have to all agree. Capital punishment is what it's called. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. That is to say, the serpent spoke in direct contradiction to God. And it is worth noting, God created all these things, including man. God created those things. Those things come from him. Woman was fashioned from man's rib. She comes from man. He is in the same relation to her as God is to him. He is her God. The Most High God. His word was just contradicted directly by a serpent. God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die, she says. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Which would suggest that up to this point, they only know good. They only know good. The woman is curious about evil. 'Tis fascinating that she was seeking to upset hierarchy and to become godly. Yes, the serpent accessed her need to upset natural hierarchy and to become godly, their need for egalitarianism, equality. She wanted to get on the level of God. And here's the other part. Let me reread that for you. Chapter 3, verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened. And ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Funny thing is, there was no indication that they needed to know this. I often hear people say, if you tell a child, don't do this or don't do that, that's exactly what they're going to do. I've never understood that because that's never been my nature. That is the nature of those who are wicked. My elders, if they say, don't do this or don't do that, I would follow my elders. If they say, hey, don't go up there, you're going to get hurt, I wouldn't think, I need to go up there, see what's going on. I would think my elders who love me have advised me not to do that. I probably ought not do it. And they told me not to do one thing, which leaves a multitude of other things to do. It is the wicked that forward this kind of thinking, which is to say that some by nature are wicked. Anyways. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes. You notice they're often concerned about what meets the eyes, the shiny things, the pretty clothes, the nice nails, the makeup, the surface. And a tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Yes, that is the first simp in human history, being led by a woman. she decided to partake in evil and share it with those she loves, thereby dragging them down with her. It's quite fascinating when you think about it. Have you ever experienced this? Someone partaking in evil, drinking alcohol, smoking marijuana, and then what do? They say, "Here, you hit the blunt." Oh, they'll say, "Shots for everyone." Spread around the evil, drag you down with them. And the eyes of them both were opened. Maybe you don't need to know everything. Maybe all information is not good information. And they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Now they had knowledge, but not wisdom. Hmm? And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. Imagine you try to hide from God. God representing goodness, you evade and run away from goodness. And what's more, they got the knowledge, still didn't have wisdom, thinking they could hide from that which is all knowing and all seeing. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, he didn't call to the woman, he called unto Adam, the leader. Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? She barely been in the picture. She just got created like a couple paragraphs ago, already causing havoc on the entirety of the planet Earth. Still smells like new earth, that fresh new earth smell. She's already creating havoc. And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. Let me reread that to you. This is a punishment. Unto the woman he said, who is he? God. I, God, will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. What? He should be equal with you? He shall rule over thee. Now imagine I ask Christian women, who leads the household? I don't know. Oh, my mom leads. Well, who's the provider? He shall rule over thee. To rule means you are king, the other is subject to you. It's very clear. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife. I'm going to repeat that. And unto Adam, he, God, said, because, meaning as a result of, as a consequence of, thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee. Which is to say, now dig this, if God told you to do one thing, God is of goodness. Someone else told you to do the opposite, they are acting as a devil. I tell you, there's devils among us. They're going against God directly, diametrically opposed advice. Oh, that got to be wicked. So Adam is being punished for being led by his woman. He's being punished for following her way. He's being punished for interrupting and rearranging the hierarchy that was created by God. He's being punished for that. He's being punished for taking her word against God's. I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face thou eat bread till thou return unto the ground. For out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return. Oh, that's so powerful. Imagine someone telling you, I am the creator. You're just dust. You're dust. Who are you to disrespect me? You're dust. And I will return you back to dust. I will return you to what you were, which is dust, which means nothing. It's extraordinary. It's utterly extraordinary. It really is. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also, and I just want to restate that as well, because people often bring this up. I'm just going to highlight this right here. Eve, she was the mother of all living. This is an important part to underscore, because we do have to deal with the concept of what people would call incest. And so just anticipating that, we're going to highlight that because that was clearly stated in this text. Unto Adam and also to his wife did the Lord God make coats of skins and clothed them. So this is now stating that God has went from allowing you to walk freely, unclothed, without shame, in a environment of goodness where you did not have the knowledge of evil. You had knowledge, which apparently was just the knowledge of good. Now you have the knowledge of good and evil, and now God has clothed you, which would indicate that God now wants you clothed. It was a loss of innocence. And the Lord God said, behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. This is interesting. One of us, like God, true to what the serpent said. Interesting. It's getting interesting. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Therefore, the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims, and a flaming sword, which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and it's very strange, and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. So what you can understand up to this point is that they were in an environment where one did not have to work, or as it was put in this Bible, earn their sustenance from the sweat of thou face. Yes, the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, which is to say, you are going to earn that which goes into your belly now. Before you were in a land of abundance, you needn't work. The punishment of the woman is in her labor pains when she conceives of the child. The punishment of the man and the woman is the work for their food. Okay.